If you ever get close to a human and human behavior,
Vernier Scalper.
Willkommen auf meinem YouTube-Kanal. Ich bin Vernier Scalper und today it is time to talk about Spirited Away. Like we have to like teabag the fucking film. Like this is the one that we prop up. We put this one on the pedestal. Spirited Away. Oh, what's your favorite Ghibli film? Spirited. I love Spirited. I love House Moving Castle. It's a great movie, okay? It's a great film. Like, what? I cannot deny it. Just like the previous video I did for Princess Mononoke, okay? I can't think, okay, but this is a different case. Spirited Away is actually, it's my third favorite Ghibli film, okay? It is actually in the top 3 Ghibli films for me, okay, personally. Unlike Mononoke, where it is not up there at all, but I would still agree that it is a very good film. And just some background information, I guess. I saw this film when I was like 7 or 8, okay, 7 or 8, and I barely finished it, okay? I don't think I even made it to the middle of the film, like the first hour, because I lost interest. I don't know why I lost interest. I was probably interrupted by something and I never got back to the film. And I just remember that it was very confusing. Like the story was like winding and it did not make any sense. And I was stupid. Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to watch Pokemon, okay? I wanted to watch my Pokemon slop. I wanted to watch Power Rangers slop, okay? I was not ready for all this thinking and pontification and surrealism. I was not ready for any of that. So, I'm sorry, okay? I'm redeeming myself. Now, the next time I watch the film would actually be 2 years ago, you know, when I actually did my film reviews. And I stopped a hiatus for a year, plus, and now we're here. And this is like the 3rd or 4th time that I'm watching the film. Because I'm sure I've seen like a bit of it over the years, you know, like just like clips and stuff. But never the full thing, okay? Never the full thing. So this is technically my 2nd time that I've seen the film in full. Okay, in full on my own accord. On my own accord, my own desire to watch the film. It's a good film, it's a very good film, okay? Okay, you know when things like art is so good, but at the same time it is so mainstream, like it's so popular, right? It has become so big that it has outgrown its own medium. And like we have the Ghibli a theme park, amusement park, whatever you call it. Okay, we have that, we have the fandom, we have all these things inspired by it, we have the merch. You get what I'm saying? It has become so big. It has been commodified. And his other films that are like this as well. Okay, other films, music, just forms of art. You know, famous paintings and stuff like the Mona Lisa. It's just like, you know, like things that art pieces that become so popular that they're commodified and almost cheapened, not the art itself, but the idea, okay? The perception, like this image of the art has been so diluted to a mere like spectacle of consumption. I sound so pretentious, but I think you know what I mean. Like how many people actually remember the little details and stuff. And I'm not saying that I remember every single thing as well. That's why I like to rewatch films, okay? As like the ones that I really like, you know, I like to rewatch them. Just like music. Sometimes you listen to a really good album, but it doesn't necessarily mean you will listen to that album every day, every month of the year. You know, like you listen to it and maybe you come back in a few months or a year and you re-listen and you find something new. It's just like the same as the films. Especially as the years go by, you know, you have new life experiences. There might be new things that you can connect with, new things that you may get out of the film, or new, what do you call it, interpretations, right? So it is always worthy of going back and re-experiencing art. Let's just jump right in, okay? Speaking of things that I don't remember and rediscovering, I don't remember that Chihiro and her family are moving. I always remembered it as a like a road trip type situational, you know, like a road trip thing where they're going to this other region, other town, other part of the Japan. I don't know what the fuck they are, but I just thought they were going somewhere new for a day trip or a few day trips, you know. And I did not remember that they were moving. So that really changes my perception already at the start of the film. Like, so yes, this is not just like a holiday. They're leaving. There's this sense of losing something, but with like the hope of finding something new. You know, we're planting new seeds. We're getting rooted in a new environment. So there is that additional layer which may inform the way we interpret the sequence of events that are about to happen, okay? And Chihiro is not having it, okay? She's a child. She's a child, and as a child who had to move house a few times, I totally get it. Like, fuck the adults, you know, like, why do we have to move houses when our previous one was so fabulous? You know what I'm saying? It always feels like this, like, why? We have to pack everything. I mean, as kids, we don't really help a lot. If I'm being completely honest, like, the kids don't really, I mean, I tried, but I probably didn't do shit, okay? Compared to the bulk of shit that my parents and my family had to do, I probably did a minuscule amount of work. But, you know, Chihiro's not having it. She's like, why? Why? She's throwing a fit. She's throwing a hissy fit as she should. And I like that she mentioned that the bouquet that she's hugging in her hand as it is dying. I don't like how my first bouquet is a farewell bouquet. That is very poetic, okay? I know it's a bit whiny, okay? It's a bit like teenager or like preteen, pubescent type whining, situational, but it's kind of poetic, you know? Your first bouquet is a farewell bouquet. That's kind of sad. But yeah, this is a very interesting layer that I really needed, because Spirited Away, so it is these little things. That's why I say that the little things that you relearn as you rewatch the film. You know, it is not just some random fever dream where they end up in the market and the parents are eating and gorging on food, and next moment they're fucking pigs and Chihiro's working her ass off in the fucking bathhouse. It started somewhere. They were in the middle of something before they were interrupted by this surrealist nightmare. Okay, and the iconic scene of the parents turning into the fucking pigs. I know, as children, when we watched that scene, we all feared that our parents would become fucking pigs. And my father is a very big eater, okay? So when I watched that film, oh, the fear, the phobia, the nightmares, I always will watch my parents when they eat, and I will be very, very careful that they do not overeat, because I did not want them to turn into pigs. But yes, it was very, very disturbing. Probably my first true experience of a disturbing image in a film. Like violence and gore is its own thing, sure, okay? Horror, like spooky stuff is its own thing, but this like surrealist, creepy, unsettling, eerie, sinister type of, imagery is a different, like it really is a different, like opening a whole new portal of uncomfy. And what is it about that? I think it's probably linked to how as children we have the fear of losing our parents, be it death or accident or getting lost in the public, what getting lost in the public, and barbaricism, parents turning into monsters. I guess that is a very fairy tale trope, right? Fairy tale trope of people turning into beasts. But it is not just anybody, it is your parents, and the significance with that, in that the parents they are the guardians, right? They are the ones taking care of the child. And they're obviously very close to the child as well. So if the parents suddenly turn into dangerous beasts, that is the scariest thing possible. That is the scariest thing. That is a very horror trope as well. Like a kin, somebody that you love, somebody that you trust becoming evil, or turning out to be a doppelganger, somebody in disguise, like a ghoul. Like it unlocks that fear, right? It taps into that fear. Ooh, the uncanny. And another thing that I can definitely relate to is when you tell your parents to not do it and they still do. When you tell your parents like, nah, I think it is dangerous, okay? I do not have a good feeling, and they don't listen to you because you're a fucking child. I have so many experiences where my fucking parents talk over me. That is why I have look at me now. That is why I have a fucking YouTube channel. Nobody can talk over me. Childhood trauma. So, like, that is another thing. When your parents do not listen to you because you're a child, like, whatever, like, they don't know what they're talking about. Like, what the fuck does a child know? We know better. Like, when your parents used to be like, adults know everything. Adults know best. Hey! Lies. If anything we learned is that the adults are just as lost as the children. I mean, look at the world. Look at the world today. What a fucking mess, okay? What a fucking mess. Adults know everything. I guess that is part of because Spirited Away, once again, is a coming of age film. Because Chihiro has to mature a lot. Okay, she has to get her shit together. Now that her parents, her guardians are gone, she has to take care of herself. She has to learn how to take care of herself. She has to learn how to escape death and survive in this cruel world. Even if the cruel world is some parallel Isekai nightmare, she has to learn how to take care of herself. And yes, part of that Bildungsroman, I'm so obnoxious. That this is my fucking art school persona coming up with the Bildungsroman. Are you fucking kidding me? Coming of age, okay? This is just part of the coming of age experience, where you realize and rationalize and have to accept that, wow, nobody really has their shit together. Everybody is just running around like headless chickens. And as children, aren't we told not to take things that do not belong to us? Fucking mom and dad here, just eating the food when there's nobody behind the counter. They're like, oh, we will pay later. And dad is like, oh, I have card, I have cash, I have money. That is fucking crazy. But that is a very good symbolism too, okay? That is one thing about this film that I do not remember, is the fact that they have so much symbolicism. Even if a child is not able to catch every single one of these things and the nuances, it is crazy how much they could stuff in this film. Like, every little detail is just like a sprinkle of the real world, okay? Money, greed. Oh, it is, whoa, it is, whoa, there is so much. We are eating, we're eating. They're eating by making this film, and we're eating by watching and consuming it. Yeah, what the fuck? Oh, and that super imposing first view of the bathhouse. Bruh. That fucking iconic first look at the bathhouse. And the first look at Haku. Okay? Boy. Pretty boy, actually. Not just boy, pretty boy. He's like, fucking run. You're not supposed to be here, human. Run and get lost before dark. And dark just comes immediately. You know, you could have told her a bit sooner, don't you think? And you have another fear, okay? The fear of night. Fear of darkness. Because what happens during the night, the monsters come out to play. And that is what happens. The monsters come out to play and she runs back to a palace. Hey, the pigs. And they get whipped. Isn't it like the dad, the one that get whipped? Oh god, it was very hard to watch. No, not Haku. Taking Chihiro to the doggy door. They ran through the fucking doggy door and then you're telling her, oh, you have to go here and you go here and you go here, you get help from this guy, and then you go to Yubaba and blah blah blah. The doors, the number of doors. Okay. This film is door heaven, okay? It's door paradise, it's door euphoria. The number of doors in this fucking film is amazing. And they're all different doors. You have the doggy door, we have the sliding doors. Oh my god, and we have the normal door. The film itself is pretty much a door. Figuratively. And in many ways figuratively, okay? Because Chihiro is kind of walking into a door to a different dimension, a different realm, okay? A parallel world. You know, I did not know that this was considered Isekai. Because I did not know that Isekai was split into like Isekai Tensei and Isekai Tani. So one is like the one where you go back in time, and the other kind is the one where it's more of like a parallel world, like a different dimension. So I did not think that this was an isekai until I did some, looking up online. So yes, this is an isekai adventure. Chihiro is stepping into a world. She's stepping into a door. She steps into Kamaji's door. She goes into Yubaba's door. Yubaba has many doors, okay? Yubaba has many doors in her little... Well, it's not very little. In her fucking room, okay? And the bathhouse has many doors. The dorms, okay, have many doors. Japanese people, with their sliding doors, everything is pretty much a door, right? Everything is a fucking door with Japanese architecture. So it is door euphoria. If you have a thing for doors, this film is for you. And the sounds as well. This film... This is very random, but this film might have the best Foley in the Ghibli-verse. Because I do not remember any other Ghibli film where I'm going, whoa, the sound effects, like the Foleys, the stepping on the wood floor. It is so... How do I say this and not sound like it is some kink or some, like something, like some spectrum? It is... It is fucking amazing. It is done so well and so effective, especially when Chihiro's running, okay? She's running, she's entering a room. There is always the sound of the footsteps on wood. it is so satisfying, and it's so synonymous with the film as well, because when you think of the wood, you think of the bathhouse. It is amazing, okay? The sound design for this film, just the footsteps alone, iconic! So Kamaji is a fucking soon. He's a tsundere. He's like, no, we do not need help here. Okay, get away. But apparently that is part of the plan. He's supposed to be like soon, and Chihiro is supposed to be insistent and persistent, and eventually he will help her in some way. And she follows, okay, she follows what Haku tells her to do, and she does give in. But the hazing though, telling her to throw that piece of coal, and the little spider suit little beings, they were ganging up on her, crowding around her, and Lin enters the picture as well. Okay, what if, and I know this film, just like Princess Mononoke, has been discussed time and time and time again. People have made their own interpretations. I know. This is probably one of the most discussed anime films ever. I get it. But these are just my own personal pontifications. How ma? What if these are just people that she knows, okay? People that she knows from like her daily life, you know, people that she has met in the past but did not stay in contact with. Maybe they could even be from her past life, and it is coming back to her in a form of a surreal dream. You know, like sometimes you dream of certain characters, figures, places, but they're actually regurgitations or recycled or jumbled up images of things that you've experienced in your life thus far, you know, things from the past that you've not seen in many years, but they're just coming back. They might have taken on new names, so you're trying to figure out like, it's uncanny, like I know this place but I don't know it at the same time. So I'm starting to suspect that maybe it is some distant uncle or some cousin who died, or a childhood friend. That is another common one that turns up in the dreams, surrealist dreams. Now the iconic elevator scene where she almost gets caught. I like how in this early part of the film, when it is not public knowledge that she has signed a contract and is a proper working, you know, like an employee of Yubaba's, she is still trying to hide out, trying to conceal her identity, and everybody is sniffing out for the fucking human. But after the contract, she is just one of the fucking amphibian looking motherfuckers, okay? She's just one of all these amphibians. All these slimy workers sweating away in the bathhouse, scrubbing, cleaning the muck and the grime. But yes, one of the froggy people, I don't know what to call them, okay? Amphibians, frogs. It gives very frog, right? It's very frog vibes. So one of the frog men, slimy. One of the frog men was like, what is that smell? And Lin had to be smart and like, no, there is nothing. It is actually this lizard. And she eats the lizard. As a kid, I was very disgusted by the disgusting lizard that she pops into her mouth. But she had to do what she had to do, okay? To distract Frog from noticing Chihiro, who's in the lift with the flabby... Is this fat phobic? The flabby sumo guy with the moves, you know, the man boobs, the saggy tits, and the saggy like whisker. Why must every character in this film be an amphibian-esque thing? Like all these creatures, okay, all these beasts are amphibians. Frog, like salamander, slime, like snail. It's very like slimy. Their features are like the eyes are far apart and the mouth is very fishy, okay? And they're complaining about the human smell, but I suspect that they probably smell like shit. They probably smell like shit. The bathhouse probably smells like shit. It probably smells like a swamp. It probably smells like Shrek's swamp. Talk about human stench. When you live somewhere long enough, everybody gets used to each other's smell and they don't smell it anymore, so they don't realize that they smell like that. But I suspect that fucking bathhouse smells like shit. Because if you think about it, they're working so hard, all these people, and that doesn't seem like there is a lot of ventilation. And the feet. Earlier, I mentioned the Foley, right? That is nice, that is heavenly, that is sound. 好吗？声音。But the smell? The olfactory? Have you guys ever considered the olfactory, the olfactorical elements of this film? I know that later on we get that disgusting slimy muck monster that comes in for a bath, but the bath as it is, all those wet feet flopping around, the smell, and like even with the herbal baths and the bath salts, whatever the fuck they use in this place, it might smell like shit as well. It might smell like shit. Look at Lin. She's already eating a lizard. I guess that is their form of like beef jerky or pickled meat, Like maybe that is their prosciutto. This place must smell fucking horrid. It must smell dank. Yo, it stank. Like that one video of Janet Jackson walking to the dance studio and be like, oh, this place stinks. Oh, these people have been dancing. Oh, it stinks. That is how I feel. That is probably how Chihiro feels when she walks into the bathhouse for the first time. She might not have enough time to process because everybody's shaming her and othering her for being a human. That is another thing about this film. The otherness. It is not just the maturing that she has to do, like the growing up that she has to do in the short period of time. The Bildungsroman of It All. It is also the horrible stench that she probably has to endure. But because she's in another person's land, she's in another realm, she has to play by their rules. She can't just walk in here, saunter in like a white man and be like, ugh, everybody has BO. She can't do that, and she's a tiny, impressionable child who is scared shitless. She's not going to be a white man swinging dick and balls around and expecting respect from the locals. She's not that, okay? She's a cute little Japanese girl. And I'm not saying that cute little Japanese girls can't be menaces. Okay? I'm just saying that in this case, she's not acting like a white man. She's acting like othered, okay? It is bad enough that she is an alien and she's discriminated in this other world, but she has to work. She has to do labor behind a contract. Oh, the contract thing. There are so many good themes. Like I said, they managed to sprinkle so many themes into this fucking film. Contract. I love it when children's media manage to introduce this idea of contracts, you know, signing your life away, and with a splash of emotional blackmail. In this case, it's the parents who are pigs. If you do not work here, your parents will fucking die. Will turn them into bacon. 你明白吗? It is also reminding me of Ursula, our iconic Queen Ursula, and her iconic contract. Oh god, I just thought of something really bad. Ariel sacrificed her voice for some dick! For some dick! But without the voice, she can't tell him if she likes it. She can't tell him if he's going too fast, or if it's hurting, or if it's too small and she can't feel anything. Stop. Ariel did not think things through. But I guess it is expected because she's pretty much a child, and the brain, I don't know how old Ariel is supposed to be, but the brain is definitely not very developed. Because what do you mean you give your voice for some dirt? How are you going to moan? How are you going to... What fun is sex without some sound effects? Okay, back to the fucking smell, okay? The smell, it stank. The disgusting slime monster that comes in. Oh god. Oh god. Think of your friend that has the bad breath. We all know that friend who has the bad breath. Mine is Miss Susie Q. Susie, the one who asked me to watch Korean Shin-chan films and Spies in the Sky. She has bad breath, like it smells like sewage, like the sewer breath, like the smell that comes from within. Okay, think of the bad breath person. Think of the BO person. Think of the 香港脚. You know what is 香港脚? The Hong Kong feet, the athlete's feet, athlete's foot. The smelly feet. Think of that person as well. Think of these three people. Combine all those three things together and you get this huge, disgusting, grime, mud, like slime, monster, beast. The fact that he is already a ginormous glorb of slime, he is still oozing ectoplasm as he's walking, as he's slithering through the establishment. He's oozing ectoplasm. I thought we have seen enough ectoplasm from fucking Princess Mononoke, if you know what I am talking about. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. I thought that was the last of the ectoplasm, but I guess not. Miyazaki's like, okay, I think the ectoplasm was a hit, so ectoplasm was a hit, we're going to do more ectoplasm. Because Lin went to get breakfast for Chihiro and herself, and the rice rotted. It rotted in the presence of that monster, that beast. It rotted. It started to disintegrate because of how toxic the atmosphere was becoming. Oh, and when it died, it did not die, but you know, when they freshly clean, like when they managed to purify the shit out of it, the sound that it made, the exhale, the that fucking sound reminds me of. It is giving the exhaling that you hear in public restrooms. When people in the cubicles are shitting their brains out. Constipation. They're like using their muscles to push the turd out of their hole. And as it plops into the water below, they let out a the exhale of relief. That is one of my most hated sounds. It is so nasty. Like, I don't want to hear it. It's so disgusting. And when you're in the middle cubicle and the left and the right are taking turns. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. This is why if I have to use a public restroom to do my business, I always put on earphones, headphones, earplugs, or just drown it out with my own crazy thoughts because I do not want to hear the exhaling. 好恶心啊，你明白吗？ Now, something about Yubaba that I did not mention earlier is that the contract, she was like, why is your name so complicated? I'm going to simplify it. And she changes it to Sen. Now, I know this is a close call because Haku told Chihiro that she should never give away her real name. And thank God, Yubaba thought that the name was too long and changed it to Sen, because if Yubaba had her real name and she kept it, she would be locked here forever. She'd have to work here forever. But even the idea of having your name erased and you're now called something else, you're now called Sen, you know, it adds to that whole otherness thing. But it is also dabbling into the idea of having your identity stripped from you. We take our names for granted. We have nicknames, we have our own names that we like to call ourselves, our usernames and stuff, but you know, we take our birth names for granted. Sometimes we just don't like it, you know. We want to choose our own name and blah 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 blah. It is complex, it is complicated, and we can go a lot of ways with it, but because now you're going to have this weird dysphoria of why are people calling me Sen? What is Sen supposed to be even? You know, like why, like I do not connect with this name. It is weird. It feels out of body, you know. And I like how Chihiro manages to win over Yubaba in this instance. Because she actually made them money. Okay, she made them some money. And Yubaba is like, okay, she's worth something. I like her now. Okay, now we have to talk about the baby. Yubaba is that freakish baby, that ginormous baby. If you've seen my videos, you know that I do not like children. I do not want children. I do not want a fucking baby. I kind of wish that the baby was uglier though. I kind of wish that the baby, I wouldn't say that the baby is cute, but I think it would make it a little bit endearing in a sort of, like twisted way if the baby was actually ugly, like freakish, you know, like a freak baby that also happens to be ginormous. I think that that would be more interesting, but sure. I had a rethink and I thought, you know what? A baby is monstrous enough. The concept of a baby, like this walking mush of flesh, like this little like claymation. I'm sorry, like, okay, like this claymation thing that is walking around asking for food and water and shelter. And it needs to be rocked back and forth and entertained. Oh, what a fucking nightmare. Yeah, I guess a baby is monstrous enough. It does not need to have a monster form. It does not need to have a beast mode. It is already a beast! Now this scene that I am about to discuss. Haku is such a fucking man. Haku is such a man. Parentheses. Derogatory. Cause what do you mean, like, he got injured, he got hurt, and now he's like tumbling, he's crashing down, slamming into the wall. And Chihiro, okay, poor Chihiro, trying to be sisterly, motherly, trying to grow up, trying to, balance all these crazy things that are happening in her crazy life, but trying to be a good person through it all, okay? She wants to help the fucking boy, trying to help the fucking dragon. And he's just slamming, spitting blood, making a mess, being a bitch. Men are so dramatic. Men are so dramatic. Because what do you mean he's destroying the establishment? And he crashes into Kawaji, what is his name? The spider guy, the Spider-Man. He crashes into the workshop, the studio with the suit creatures. Like, just trashing everything, like, like, are you going to pay for that? Are you going to pay for any of your mess? Are you going to pay for the damages? Probably not. Probably just going to, smack his ass, shake his tail. I'm pretty boy working for the Yubabas. Okay? I'm bitch, like all the. He's such a fucking man. And speaking of fucking man, No Name. I was thinking maybe we can say that No Name is like a they them, okay? No Name is non-binary, but no. No. No Name sounds non-binary, but he's very man. He's very male-coded, okay? He's very 臭男人，你明白吗？ He's lonely. He's a lonely soul. That is why he's like following Chihiro and being like creepy and perverted. Trying to pay her. Oh, that was when it hit me. I was like, bruh, she is not your escort. She's not your escort. She's not your prostitute. She's not here to cure your depression, your loneliness, whatever fucking issue, mommy issue, daddy issue, sibling problems. Like, I don't fucking know what is your problem, No Name. What do you mean you're offering her golden bits? Little golden cereal crumbs for her attention. Like, what do you want? I want Chihiro, I want Sam. That is a man paying for fucking company? Bruh. Okay, but not going to lie, I think it's a bit generous that he only swallowed 3 people. 3? He could have done more. These like slimy, slippery, froggy motherfuckers up here in the bathhouse, he could have had a little bit more. Just to scare them. That was generous of him. And I also want to talk about how the villains are, once again, complex. They're not just evil. Okay, Yubaba has her baby that she cares about. And the scene where she's leading her employees to clean that disgusting, filthy mud monster. She showed leadership, she showed leadership that she's goal-orientated. She has layers, right? And then you bring in the fact that she has this sister that she's not close with, and they're like cut from the same cloth. So you can start to pontificate about that relationship as well, that dynamic. Like, why did they fall apart? You know, like, did something happen, or is it just like a personality thing? So now you wonder what is the personality of the other sister, and like, you know, like, she's very complex. And even No Name, I don't really like that name. No Name. Okay, let's just call him the pervert. Okay, the pervert. The pervert. He's complicated as well, because he was monstrous in that moment, and he wants to get what he wants by like eating people and threatening. But why? Like, where does this loneliness come from? And why is he so like scheming and slimy and just, you know, like, why is he like this? Why is he alone? Does he have family? Chihiro brings in that question, right? Like, why are you outside? Aren't you going to get wet? Do you have family? Do you have friends? Like, why are you alone? And I like that he follows her to the train, very persistent, and he follows her to, what's the other sister's name? Zeniba's place. And he actually behaves himself. He just, like, you know, he does not do anything funny. So I guess he really wants the company of somebody. As much as he was monstrous, and as much as he was a creep, I do empathize with No Name, right? I do empathize with him. I empathize with Yubaba as well. She's grumpy and she's annoying. Like, you know, I don't like grumpy old people characters, but she must be really fed up, stuck here in the bathhouse, having to run shit all the time. She probably wants a peaceful life. Like, when she was talking about the contract, she was getting annoyed that she can't turn people down when they ask for a job. So you can assume that she has more grievances with this stupid job that she has to do. The villains in the Ghibli films, they have layers. I really appreciate that. I want to feel appreciated. Now, nearing the end, Chihiro remembers Haku's real name. And again, very, very symbolic, okay? Because now that he is reminded of his actual name, he's freed. It is like a spell is broken. She has saved him. She has saved him from this torture, this encaged, this like metaphorical prison, represented by the bathhouse, represented by working under the helm of Yubaba's. Well, technically it is more than that, because he did have that mind control thing that he had to spit out, or, you know, Chihiro helped him spit out. And towards the end, the bittersweet goodbye. It is barely even a goodbye. He just tells her to run back to where she came from and not to look back. I got chills when I heard the mother's voice for the first time in forever. I think that is very impactful, because we never get the flashback, right? We perhaps spoke about the parents. She met the parents, you know, in their pig forms, in the pigsty. But we never hear the parents' voices since the beginning of the film. When I heard the mom's voice, I got chills and I wanted to cry. It was very powerful. And she really did not look back till they got back to the car. And it was like all a strange, surrealist dream. Wow. This film is... It is the best Ghibli film. It is the best Ghibli film, you know? Like, you can have your favorites like me. I have my favorites that aren't really like the fan favorites and stuff. But we can all universally agree that this is the best that Ghibli has to offer. The fact that they have all these different themes, and like Princess Mononoke, like all the scenes are so colorful and they work with the flow. Like, there isn't a real like filler scene. Everything is important, everything is engaging, and they stuff in all these and they managed to throw in all the different themes. Oh, it is so fucking good. Okay. It is so fucking good. Yo, what the fuck? Oh, and the fucking hair tie. The one that Zaniba gifted Chihiro. I almost forgot about the hair tie. I rewinded at the end because I was like, wait, the hair tie is now the purple one, and it even shimmered in the sunlight. I went back, okay? I went back to check, and it only became the purple one at the end. It wasn't like she always had it, or it was always there, or no, she actually kept it. It was the one thing that followed her back to the real world. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? This film, I really think that it is a surreal dream. Like, it is like a memory of people and things and places that she has seen and experienced. That is just my own. It is not a very crazy, deep interpretation, I know, but that is what I think, a surrealist dream. And I know that there are many films that follow this format of somebody going through, it might not necessarily, it does not have to be an accident, it does not have to be an accident or something big, but a surreal dream, a surrealist dream. It could be gothic, it could be folklore-esque, it could just be the real world, but distorted with some odd, uncanny changes. But we never get a hint of who these people actually are, right? The only person that we get is Haku is actually represent the Kohaku River that Chihiro almost drowned in. So that would hint to us that all these other people might be places and things. So that is why I arrived at the surrealist dream idea, okay? But it was amazing. I really enjoyed this rewatch. And I hope you enjoyed this fucking long video because there is just so much to talk about. There is so many pointers, so many cool things. And I really, really, really enjoyed this one. And another thing is that no shade to the other Ghibli films that are simpler. But I get why this is the best one because it is so stocked. It is so loaded. There are so many loads. Sorry, I had to go there. It is amazing. Okay, that is it, okay? Like and subscribe and do all of that. And I will see you in the next video, which I believe is The Cat Returns. Okay, that is it. Goodbye. Ingredients.